Well, this meeting has been a long time in coming. Longer still since you took time to charge into the tops before coming to see me. I invited you here so we could talk, not so you can nose around. You would be the first person to set foot inside the Lucky 38 in over 200 years. But you still wound up here, right where I wanted you. A crude question, crudely asked. I'll be happy to satisfy your rambunctious curiosity at a more appropriate moment. It is obvious to you that I built this place. The Platinum Chip opened it, after all. You have an interest in this, whether you like it or not. You signed a contract to deliver the Platinum Chip to me. I don't respond well to threats. No, you haven't. This is the second time you've promised to deliver the Platinum Chip. Even if you don't hold yourself to your promises, I will. I'm optimistic that this conversation will go more smoothly. By goodbye, I assume you mean that you can't talk right now because you need to go get the Platinum Chip off Benny's body. This is not the time for Q&A. Was that meant to be a shocking revelation? There will be time for questions and answers once you've delivered the chip. Until then, you'll have to tolerate your ignorance, just as I do. You aren't going to ramble on about the virtues of life out in the wastes, are you? It's a desert, you do realize. Can I look forward to a more substantial conversation this time? Delivery of the Platinum Chip is non-negotiable. Have you come to your senses? Or will there be a repeat of the last incident? I've spent too many years waiting for this moment to see it fumbled by an insubordinate contractor. Are you a child? The Platinum Chip was taken from you, obviously. As I've told you before, you are contractually obligated to deliver the chip. Do your job. You're making me question your usefulness, you realize. You have a contract to fulfill, a delivery to make. If you can't hold to a contract simply for the ethic of holding to a contract, you're worthless to me. Goodbye? Is that some kind of joke? You barely understand what I want you to accomplish down there. You're going to have a hard time on the Strip if you are so incautious of making enemies. I can't reach through this monitor and compel you to follow instructions, but know this. If you disappoint me, you will pay for it. Listen to me very carefully. I waited too long for this moment for you to go fouling it up on a lark. Our terms were clear. Now that you have the chip in your possession, any attempt to renegotiate payment would be tantamount to blackmail. The Platinum Chip unlocks this bunker. Hence, you have it. Hence, Benny was captured or killed. Possibly by you, but by my estimates, far more probably by Caesar's Legion. Hence, Caesar gave you the chip. Hence, Caesar wants you to destroy whatever you find in this bunker. That you were searched very thoroughly when you arrived at the fort is a certainty. And as the chip is a little too large to be secreted away, I also regard it a certainty that the chip was discovered, taken from you, and given to Caesar, who returned it to you. 2 + 2 = 4, Caesar wants you to destroy whatever you find in this bunker. But that's not going to happen, because you're going to work for me. What of it? I enjoy them. You played that very poorly, you realize? Do as I say, and your rewards will be immense. Thwart me, and your punishment will become the purpose of my existence. Do you have any idea how prodigious is the opportunity you're casting aside here? Not interested? Not interested? You have an interest in this, even if you're too stupid to know it. If you have an interest in breathing, you have an interest in this. I've always taken business negotiations seriously. I advise you to do the same. Please get it right this time. So you've said before, you're making a habit of wasting my time. You're fortunate that I have a certain tolerance for greed. I expect my business partners to be self-interested, but smartly so. Then this is a waste of time. I'll give you time to think over the consequences of what you're saying. I urge you to reconsider. Is that an attempt at humor? So what are you doing here? Return to the fort at once. I'm surprised you can still underestimate me after everything you've seen. Why, thank you so much. An opinion you expressed with supreme subtlety and finesse. Hoover Dam, of course. A hydroelectric dam. Now, because of your carelessness, Benny has fled the Strip, taking with him the platinum chip. What is the purpose of this delay? To the elevator, if you please. Stop dragging your feet. Success depends on forcing the NCR to rout from Hoover Dam. Does giving them a powerful ally in the battle make that more or less likely? Stop wasting time. And whose idea was it to offer yourself up as a sacrificial lamb? Really? What did you expect? Are you going to keep giving him opportunities to kill you? It's becoming a hobby of his. Your incompetence has jeopardized the success of this entire concern. Please focus on the task at hand, for both our sakes. You thought I wouldn't notice? This was a waste of time. Not so eager to take on a suicide mission, is that it? Disappointing in the extreme. Until you do this, consider yourself suspended, without pay. Benny is dead, and yet you don't appear to be carrying the platinum chip. I don't suppose you forgot to search his body? Oh no, not so quick. I still have work for you. How shall I put this? I invite you to think carefully about what you do next. Standing alone before me, surrounded by my heavily armed Securitron guards. Do you really think I'm going to let an upstart come into my home and ransom my property to me? I spent 2 centuries searching for the platinum chip. It's my invention, my property, mine! Now be a good courier and deliver it! There's a job that needs doing here, and I'm assigning it to you. I offer many benefits, but vacation time isn't one of them. I don't care if you have to kill every legionary at the fort. Get the job done. I much prefer working with robots. My directions have been clear from the start. I didn't ask you to tell me what they were planning. I asked you to kill them. Arrogance was their undoing. There might be a lesson in that. You have a job to do, so do it. Don't tell me you've fallen for the stories of noble paladins on crusade, preserving mankind's technology in a benighted age. Dross. In any case, this is an employer-employee relationship. I've given you an assignment, and the directions are clear. Then look harder. I'll see if I can make some progress with informants. You're useless in this matter. Can't put the genie back in the bottle, is that it? Maybe you should have thought of that before you conspired to destroy my property. And why would you have done that? If you'd shown moderation in your dealings with the NCR, we wouldn't be in this position. This is no time to be droll. Up to this point, your efforts yielded near-perfect results. But now I'm forced to fumble in the dark, to gamble. Marvelous work ethic. Bravo! And you assisted them? That's what you mean to say, isn't it? After all that we've accomplished? A few questions, and then you'll handle the Brotherhood, I hope? You could have succeeded. Then gather together the firepower or explosives or whatever else you need and improvise. Your accident has jeopardized the success of this entire concern. No. You'll want to hear this out. Your history of aggression towards the NCR has rendered you useless in this concern, unable to influence the outcome of events. Consequently, I have to wait and see what happens. It's grotesque. It seems diplomacy is not your forte. Last I knew, President Kimball wasn't scheduled to visit the Lucky 38. Be on your way to Hoover Dam, will you? I'm sure the assassins will wait for you to show up. Fine. I'll permit some latitude in how you schedule your work. You're welcome. Kimball is dead. What a mess you've made. Questions like, will President Kimball survive his visit to Hoover Dam? Get it over with, will you? I would have made you wealthy. You could have helped change the world. Why in the world did you attack President Kimball? Then there will be no safe haven for you. Why are you doing this? Do you have the slightest idea of what you've done? Of what you've destroyed? Even now, on the brink of battle, you dared come here after what you did? Why is good help so impossible to find?